feel like complete butt. Chef's kiss. What is the word I'm trying to say? Quinoa.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm French.
You are winner, Rene.
Good morning, buff babes and bros, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rene, and I'm an IFBB Wellness Pro, and I want to welcome you to my Road to Olympia series. So, in today's video, I wanted to kind of do a sit down and talk to you guys about my top 5 tips on how to lose fat and build muscle. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, usually by this time in the week, I already have a video completed and ready to go for you guys, but it has been a really challenging week for me. My energy is hitting an all-time low. I wake up and I have no energy to do anything at all, but I still have to do my training and my cardio. And it's really funny because you guys on the last video were like, you're in such a good mood and like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're right, I am. Like, I haven't really hit a wall, and I hit a wall. So instead of not filming a video, I wanted to do more of a sit down video so I can just kind of conserve my energy. And yes, but still, we have plenty of things to go over for this video, and I'm also going to get my extensions in, and I have new posing shoes, or my competition shoes that I'm going to show you that are brand spanking new, so I'm excited. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so tip number 1 is to eat low calorie, high volume foods. Okay, so when you start cutting, you're gonna start getting hungry. It's just what happens. Your body is used to eating at a certain caloric intake, and once you decrease that caloric intake via caloric deficit, you're gonna start getting hungry. So I have plenty of ideas for you guys and recipes that you can use that are low calorie and high volume. So the reason that I love doing this is because you get to eat so much more food for less calories. And basically what this does is it helps keep you fuller for longer, because you're not eating food that is just super quick digesting and it's not actually filling you up. Then you're expanding your stomach and you're fuller, so that in between meals, you're not getting so hungry. And that's the point where people just want to break their diet, or they struggle so much with being in a caloric deficit because they're just so hungry all the time. So some of my favorite things are big veggie wraps. I like to use either like the Joseph's flatbread, or there's also this like pita flatbread that's so low calorie, and I just wrap it, I fill it with a bunch of vegetables and protein, and I put like mustard, or I like to put a little bit of hot sauce in it. Or there's also a low-fat mayo, which is like 1/3 of the calories of regular mayo, and it's creamy and it tastes so good. And that is one of my favorite things. I also like to do giant salads. So just whatever kind of lettuce that you like. The dogs are barking. Anyways, pick whichever lettuce you like. I like to do a mixture of like crunchy romaine and like arugula and things that have a little bit more greens, because I like the crunch and I like the green, because those the micronutrients in anything that has a little bit more green is higher. So I do that. I put a bunch of vegetables in it. I like to do like cucumbers, celery, and I really love like those baby bell peppers. They're so good. And whatever you want, just be mindful also when you're making these salads. Although salads are like healthy, what you put on top of them can definitely increase the calorie count. So just be mindful when you're doing that. And then put whatever protein you like. I like to do shrimp sometimes, like cold shrimp on top, or chicken breast. And it's even good with like turkey. It sounds weird, but it's actually really good. So we have the big veggie wraps, we have the big salads. You can also do protein ice cream, which you can literally get double to triple the amount of volume of food rather than like a pint of ice cream. So a pint of ice cream's like this big, but you can get so much protein ice cream. And I'll pop up a video up here on how I make the protein ice cream so you guys know. And not only are you getting your protein in, but you're going to be way fuller than if you just had a small amount of ice cream. Like the calories difference is so insane. Another thing that I like to do is use cauliflower rice. So to like make more volume in my food. So jasmine rice versus cauliflower rice, although jasmine rice is a lot higher in carbs and it tastes great, sometimes what I'll do is I'll mix the two together so that I'll have like half a cup of jasmine rice, but then like a cup of cauliflower rice, and the volume is so much more, and I mix it in together and it tastes amazing. And you can also make it into like a stir fry and put veggies, whatever protein you like, put a little bit of soy sauce or teriyaki sauce, whatever you like. Chef's kiss. Another thing that I like to have is Smart Pop popcorn. And I'll pop up a picture of the exact one that I use because you can have so much of this popcorn for like 200 calories. And you can just sit and chill, watch Netflix with your person or your puppy, and you can just eat a bunch. What I like to do is get the Can't Believe It's Not butter, spray it on there, put a little bit of sea salt, and if you're fancy, I also like to put a Louisiana hot sauce on it. Or you can put the spray butter and you can make a sweet version because the spray butter adds that like stickiness, and you can put like a cinnamon and sugar topping on top of it. Guys, I got ideas for you. Tip number 2. Eat more quality calories. So what I mean by this is eating more whole foods, because this is going to keep you satiated for longer versus if you're eating foods like fast food and sweets, which are super high in sugar, super high in fat. And the reason that they are is to literally get you to continue to eat them more. And what happens is you have such a quick spike in your blood sugar from eating these foods that are super high in refined carbs, fat, and sugar, and your insulin gets spiked really quick. And that's why you have that feeling of just feeling like gross, because it spikes really high and then it shoots down really low. I've had that plenty of times where I'll have like a fast food or a pint of ice cream or something, and you're eating it and you're like, yeah. And then later you're like, ugh, because of that spike goes so high, then so low. So it leaves you feeling super tired and super cranky. And every time that you have healthier food for like a longer period of time, and then you throw in some of the junk food, it's even more extreme, that feeling, because your body's like, yeah, we're so good at like feeling healthy, we're doing good. And then when you have that food, it's like, whoa, I didn't realize what a huge effect that this was having on me. So in order to really just get rid of that icky kind of cranky feeling that you feel after it, look, I'm not telling you to not have these things because I love having these things. It's a part of life, it's fun, but just limiting the amount of times that you're going and doing that so that you can avoid that insulin spike and then the crash, and replace it with more quality foods, like picking your favorite proteins through a week, like 90-10 beef, turkey, chicken, having these things pre-made so that you already have them at home, and it's just easy for you to just pop it in the microwave or prepare your meal and then eat your meal. And then as far as like carbohydrates, whatever kind of potato you like, red potato, sweet potato, you can do oats, you can do cauliflower rice, you can do regular rice. There's so many different things that you can do. You can even do quinoa, for people that don't say it right. There's so many different things. But if you are prepared with these quality calories, then you're more likely to eat them and less likely to just skirt right after the gym and pull into a Whataburger. Tip number 3. I am missing a nail. Yes, I am. Don't cut out complete food groups or certain foods. So I've tried doing it this way and it just never works. Just like I said in the previous tip, you're going to eat fast food and you're going to have like ice cream and stuff like that that's not on your meal plan or whatever. But cutting them out of your life completely just makes you want to eat them even more. Now, there was actually like a study done on 2 control groups. One of the control groups was dieting and the other one was dieting, but the difference was one control group actually wasn't restricted on what they can and cannot eat. They weren't told you can't have this, you can't have that. And the other control group was told, no, you can't have this, no, you can't have that. And guess which control group actually stuck to their diet better? The control group that didn't have the restrictions, because it is literally like human nature. If someone tells you not to do something, like you want to do it even more. Why are we like this? Tip number 4, you need to do a small caloric deficit. A lot of people like to slash their calories by so much, and this leads to the yo-yo dieting for you being super cranky and super hungry, when really, if you would have started with a smaller caloric deficit, it would have been so much more sustainable in the long run. I know that you guys probably have done this before, because I definitely have. I was like, well, if I slash my calories from 2,000 to 1,000, I'll get my results faster. But it always resulted in the same thing, right back to square one. When really, if I would have just cut them by a smaller deficit, I would have gotten results more sustainably. So, in order to lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit, which means you need to eat fewer calories than you burn. So a good rule of thumb, general rule of thumb, is 10% deficit. So for example, my maintenance calories in my off season or improvement season is about 2,000 calories. So if I'm in a 10% deficit, that means I would start at 1,800 calories instead of cutting them by 20, 30, 40%, I'm only in a 200 calorie deficit. And when you really think about that, that's not very hard to maintain. You can even just burn 200 extra calories per day and not really change your diet at all. And we'll kind of go into that a little bit in the next tip. But that puts you in a small deficit. And it's good to start there, because when you're going towards this goal, you don't have to cut calories so fast. You don't. Just start small, see the results from there, track your progress, because your hunger is gonna go up a little bit, but imagine how much your hunger is going to go if you cut 400 to 500 calories or 600 calories versus that 200 calories. And tip number 5, increase your physical activity. You're probably thinking, duh, Julia, but much like the small deficit in the tip before, you can start small with increasing your physical activity. You don't necessarily have to be like, okay, now I'm doing an hour of cardio. You can just increase the number of steps that you're doing per day. So for example, if you just track a general, like how many calories or how many steps am I taking per day? And then you're like, okay, well, now I want to start cutting a little bit of weight, so I'm gonna increase my physical activity. Just throw in an extra walk or park a little bit further away from the grocery store. Don't sit down all day so much. Make sure you're standing a little bit more. There's little things that you can do to increase your physical activity that don't take that much effort. And then if you're like me, you can take your dog on an extra walk a day. You can go on walks with your partner in the evening, and then it gives you some time to like chat and catch up with the day. Or if you're like me and you're like, okay, I'll just do some cardio. You can add just a machine cardio, or you can do boxing classes. There's different things that you can do, and you don't have to go from 0 to 100. You don't have to go from no cardio to an hour of cardio. You can just increase it by little increments. It's going to make such a difference. So I hope that those tips helped you guys. I am going to continue with my day, and I'm gonna see you later because we are gonna get some extensions in, and my hair is so dirty, so I'm excited to get it washed and cleaned.
What follows is a brief construction montage.
god, it's so soft. I can't wait.
Much later.
Good morning, guys. So I got home pretty late last night after doing my extensions, and I have them in a giant bun. And honestly, I didn't sweat so much like on my scalp, which was good. And I like to get them this close to the show because I know that I'm gonna be doing a lot of cardio, and having to like blow dry these is going to be a pain in the butt. But I absolutely love them, and they just like hide so well. And I wanted to show you guys the new, what is the word I'm trying to say, competition shoes that I got, because I wanted to have a pair for just posing and then a pair for stage, because my posing shoes are like so broken in right now. So I have this massive knife. I really need to get a box cutter. I'll be careful, I promise. Always do it away from your body. With how tired I am, I should not be using a knife. Okay. Anything in there? No. Here's the box. So these are from the Shoe Fairy, which is the competition shoe that I've been using since the very beginning. They're literally the best. Oh, so cute. So I wanted to show you what I got. So they run, I think they run small, so they recommend that you go a size up because they don't have half sizes. So for example, I'm a 7.5, so I got an 8. Boom. My new stage shoes. Ooh, look at these. So the competition shoes are always clear. I'm honestly not sure why, but see, they have a little bit of jewels on them. I always get the one that has the higher platform because personally it's a lot easier to walk in and not fall. So here's a little close-up of what they look like. We got the jewels going around, simple strap. This is like very, very soft. But yeah, I'm excited about them. Honestly too, I have a code with the Shoe Fairy, and if you click the link down in the description, you can see the Shoe Fairy link, and there's a discount code, which is Julia Rene, if you want to get some competition shoes. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am trying my hardest to be as like energetic as I can, but I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like complete butt. But that's to be expected this close to the show. So as always, I love you all so much, and you are more powerful than you think. Bye.